couple days ago, I finished reading A Tale of Two Cities. I went into this book only knowing that it was about Paris and London. Like, that's literally all I knew. I didn't know when, I didn't know why, I didn't know what was going on. Turns out it's during the French Revolution, which I think would have changed my expectations for this book quite significantly had I, like, fully realized that, which, like, I'm sure if you're looking at the cover of this book, you're like, wait a minute, Eden, how did you not clock that this was like about the French Revolution? There's literally a guillotine on the cover. And to that I say, because I'm not observant. I don't know. I just didn't, okay? Because you're not supposed to judge a book by a cover, so I didn't look at the cover. I did look at the cover. I really only looked at the title though. I didn't look that closely at it. Otherwise I probably would have realized. Anyway, it's a great book. I was quite surprised. Like, it's quite a bit more action-packed than I was expecting it to be. But the action's mostly in, like, the last half of the book, if I'm entirely honest. Because, like, the first half, honestly, I was really confused about, like, what the frick was going on, because we were just meeting a bunch of, like, random characters and, like, random situations that they were in, and sometimes there would be, like, overlap between, like, oh, these characters obviously know each other, but it was just, like, it just seemed rather disjointed, and so I was quite confused about, like, what was going on. And then the second half of the book happened, things were just all over the place, and then it, like, really made sense, like, why we were seeing all these different characters. And you kind of understood their backgrounds more. You also got a bit more insight into, like, who exactly they were. And it was crazy. I would recommend this book. I do think it's quite fun. I think it's quite interesting. I do like, some of our characters. At least at first, I didn't, like, I don't know, like, they didn't seem that important at first. Like, they were just kind of, like, there, and then at the end you're like, oh my gosh, you're diabolical. It was kind of crazy. There were some crazy things that happened in it. Also, I feel like for most of this, I honestly listened to it on Spotify, and then I ran out of audiobook hours, so I read the last few pages. And one, I think I almost do need to, like, reread certain parts, just because, like, it's an audiobook, and so, like, sometimes I can get a little, like, it's harder for me to go back and, like, be like, wait a minute, what happened? And so there are parts that I feel like I should maybe reread, but I don't know, I enjoyed listening to it, which is weird for me. Normally I prefer reading a book physically, but I think listening to that book on audiobook was definitely the way to go. I would say I'd probably give this, like, a solid, like, 3.5 stars out of 5. So not too shabby.